What's up, Miguel?
The new Black Wall Street. Do it right, build wealth, build life, economic empowerment, real tips, insight on the new Black Wall Street. It's on the new Black Wall Street. Is your host.
All right, my beautiful people, man. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, man. Thanks so much for joining us again here today on the New Black Wall Street. We present you guys the Money and Power Show. And I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, ERGJ Black Bazaar, international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club, which is a study of Black wealth. Study the 12 richest Black people in the world today and how they built their wealth. And I just truly believe that if you want to be wealthy, that's a big if, by the way. But if you do, I recommend that you study Wealthy PayPal. Man, you can pick up your copy today by simply going to the website www.theblackbillionairesclub.com, www.theblackbillionairesclub.com. You'll find that link in the description above or below. And I'm super excited about today because we got a special guest with us, and I'll be bringing him in just a second. Of course, this is the Money and Power Show, where we talk about two things that typically they tell us we shouldn't, or we believe we shouldn't talk about. And there's actually three of those things that we consider to be taboo topics. Number one, we're not going to be talking about this. It's going to be religion. They don't want you to talk about religion, your faith, none of that stuff, no matter where you go. Number two, politics. Yeah, we might need to start diving into this thing, make sure we bring the right people to represent us on whatever level of government that it is out there. That's the laws of the land. That's actually the control of money, where it goes and why it goes where it goes. And then number three, money, economics, right? So you got three taboo topics that I don't know if you just like me, I was kind of told or led to believe I should never talk about these things. Money, politics, and religion. So we're going to tackle two of those today. We're going to get about 67% up out of here. We're going to talk about money and politics, okay? So hopefully you guys are tuned in, ready to rock and roll, man. Here as well, I want to let you guys know today's episode has been brought to you by ERGJ Black Bazaar, the Afrocentric marketplace with specializing in Afrocentric home decor, personal care products, and also Black art-inspired gifts. And guys, y'all know what time it is, man. So we had to do a little pivot, a little switch, and make sure we brought you guys some things that can be very useful for today. That's the wonderful thing about being your own business. You can decide what you're going to sell. And so we got access to your mask. We got access to your hand sanitizer, access to creams and stuff like that. Man, make sure you check out the personal care section for all types of good stuff that can help you play some defense. Everybody put it comes on defense. Help you play some defense. It ain't time to be offensive right now. It's time to be playing defense. You got to keep the enemy from scoring, okay? You got to keep them out the end zone, okay? Go ahead and check out the website, www.theblackbazaar.com, www.theblackbazaar.com. Here at ERGJ Black Bazaar, the Afrocentric marketplace. Want you to remember this, that once you shop black, you never go back. That's right, man. Once you shop black, you never go back, man. Check out the website again. Pick up all your good stuff. And shout out to Big Sis Media, our sponsor for today. Big Sis Media powers everything that we do here at ERGJ Enterprises with the website, with all of the digital stuff, all of our videos, all that good stuff, all comes from Big Sis Media, which is a full-service creative design agency here to watch over your most critical creative needs like a Big Sis would. Your most critical creative needs like a Big Sis would. If you need some help, and it's 2020, and you still doing business like it's 1999, man, go ahead and check out Big Sis Media so she can bring you current, right? She can bring you up to speed in this digital age. Go ahead and check out the website, www.bigsismediagroup.com, www.bigsismediagroup.com. All right, beautiful people, man, let's see who's here, man. Go ahead and hit the like button, the share button if you care. Also, in the comments below, let us know where you're connected from, man. Rep your city. Want to know just how far our reach is here today as we are broadcasting from our local area here in Decatur, Georgia. And we're using the World Wide Web to stream across Facebook Live and Instagram Live and YouTube Live to bring you some free financial education for the nation. That's right, free financial education for the nation. Now, I am the kind of the stock guy. And I got a brother who actually I grew up with, man. He like I think we've been going to school together since I was Wade Rainbow Elementary. So I mean elementary school, and this brother's doing his thing, I believe, in Texas as it relates to real estate. So you got stocks represented today, you got real estate represented today. So I'm very excited to be able to bring him on in just a second. But I want to know who's here, man. Did you hit the like button? Did you hit the share button? Is your money and understanding your money, is that important to you? Are you your brother's keeper? Are you your sister's keeper? Are you concerned about them managing their money so they don't have to beg from you? I mean, that's what I think. I better stop asking me and learn how to manage your own money. And then that way we can be kumbaya in our neighborhoods together. How about that? See, so hit the like button, share button if you care. Like button, share button if you care. What's going on? Vivian Reed from New York City is in the house. Good morning to you. G25 Taurus on YouTube. Mr. Thomas Freeman out of Louisville, Kentucky. That's right. Float like a butterfly. Sting like a bee. That's what I'm talking about, man. Muhammad Ali's hometown in Louisville, Kentucky. That's what I'm talking about, man. Defense. We must protect this house. That's what I'm talking about, man. What's going on? Going on. That's what's up. Man, go ahead and let us know that you're here as we get ready for our show. Now, we got a couple things we need to do right before I bring our guest on. First, as you guys know, we got to pay homage. All right, let me bring him on and introduce himself. He can be with me while we do this stuff as well, because I know he's chomping at the bit to talk and all that good stuff. Well, he got a whole bunch of information that he probably want to share. So let me introduce you guys. My classmate from, I don't know if I want to give y'all the date, the year we graduated, but nonetheless, he's doing his thing up in Fort Worth, Dallas. Let me see if I can bring him in here. Man, Mr. Tatum Hood is in the house, brother. How you doing, man? Uh-oh, we lost your voice. Oh, I muted you. You got to unmute yourself.
There we go. Doing well. About yourself?
Man, I'm doing absolutely phenomenal, man. Thanks so much. It's been a long time, bro. I'm glad the SWG, the alumni is showing up today, man. How's everything? Where are you at, by the way? How's everything going for you, man? It's been a long time.
Everything's going excellent. I'm out here in Dallas, Texas. Been here since 2012. Loving it. Playing in the real estate game. So very, 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 very nice to me. So.
Man, you said playing in the real estate game. I mean, I like to hear that playing. That's right. It's a money game, and you playing the game of wealth. Absolutely, man. But it's good. There's some people that don't know who you are. May have some classmates that are watching as well. They don't know what you're up to. You could just give a little introduction about who you are, what you do, why you do what you do, and why in the heck we should listen to you.
So my name's Tatum Hood. I'm currently located in Dallas, Texas. I've been in real estate since 2006. So in various forms. So I started off as a loan officer for about a year, and then I transitioned into a real estate agent. I got into real estate really around the time when the market crashed in 2008. That's when I really hit it heavy and hard, which, for most people, they were getting out and I was actually getting in. So I've seen markets up, down. So I've experienced all of this. So like I said, I'm located here in Dallas, Texas. I have a team of myself and 4 buyer's agents plus 2 admin assistants. So we do roughly 90 to 110 transactions every year. So we're pretty efficient in what we do. I got into it because I actually love real estate. My mother-in-law is a real estate agent. Father-in-law is a real estate broker. Godmom's real estate broker. So I was around it all the time. So as myself, I bought my first house for my 21st birthday. My wife and I moved in when we were 21. Now, keep in mind, I still had my same car I had in high school. I wasn't really into cars like that. So people would see me and I was like, "You still driving that same car?" Little did they know I had my own house. So once I bought my first house, and if you ever bought a house, you never stop looking. Even though you got your first house, you never stop looking. So I kind of fell in love with it. Made my transition into real estate, moved to Dallas, Texas in 2012, built a successful team here. So that's literally my little spiel.
Man, absolutely, man. I'm excited to hear about this because you said you got in when people were getting out, and one of the philosophies I continue to teach people is to buy low, sell high. But we're gonna get into that because I'm gonna try to make sure we get you all the time because boy, this is good. But anyway, so first thing we gotta do, beautiful people, y'all know we gotta pay homage to the ancestors, and so we do have our African American and an invention that changed the world. So we're going to hear from a Frederick McKinley Jones, find out what he did here on the Money and Power Show from the book African American Inventions That Changed the World by Mr. Michael A. Carson. Frederick McKinley Jones in 1939, everybody putting out so 1939, that's about 80 some odd years ago. In 1939, Frederick McKinley Jones invented refrigerated trucks. He also has over 60 patents to his name. The majority pertain to refrigeration technologies. His others are related to X-ray machines, engines, and sound equipment. Jones was inducted into the National Inventors Hall of Fame in 2007. Man, so we see all those meat trucks and all that stuff moving around. That's a brother. That's a brother. That's what I'm talking about, man. So Jones was later presented with an opportunity to develop an apparatus that would allow large trucks to transport perishable items without them spoiling. In 1939, he invented a portable air cooling unit. This device allowed trucks to be refrigerated. Jones and Numero formed a partnership together. They founded the U.S. Thermal Control Company. The company's popularity grew during World War II. His invention allowed the U.S. military to preserve blood, medicine, and food. These items can now be transported in refrigerated trucks to soldiers in need of them. The Thermal Control Company also revolutionized the shipping and grocery businesses. Grocery chains were finally able to import and export perishable products instead of the regular canned goods. As a result, the frozen food industry was born. Consumers were now able to enjoy fresh fruits from all over the country for the first time. Jones' invention of the refrigerated truck allowed U.S. Thermo to become a multi-million-dollar company. Jones has over 60 patents to his name, and in 1939, he invented an automatic ticket dispensing machine. He later sold the patent rights to RCA. This device was later used in all movie theaters. Here today on the Money and Power Show, Mr. Frederick McKinley Jones. Brother, we put some respect on your name. That's right, man. Yes. Man, what do you think about that, man? What do you think about that, brother? Brotherhood, man. It's my first time hearing about a Frederick McKinley Jones.
Me too. Me too. That's amazing. That's amazing, and it shows all the ingenuity that we as a people have. That's very, 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 very good. I'm going to read up some more on him.
Absolutely, man. It's absolutely very, very impressive, guys. And guys, again, what now we got to do? It's Wednesday, right? It's Wednesday. It's Wealth Wednesday. We got the wealth game we're going to talk about today. Wealth Wednesday, that puts us into our 52-week savings challenge. And one more thing we got to do, brother, to it, then we'll get right into our conversation here today. 52-week savings challenge. Y'all know what time it is. Let me turn the hat around. Turn the hat around. Turn the hat around. It's the Save Train. And I'm your conductor, Mr. Save-A-Lot. And it's week 14 of the savings challenge, which means that we're going to take $14 and we're going to put it into our savings container. And so my container is called Straight Out of Money because if this ain't got nothing in it, that must mean I'm straight out of money. So we're going to keep this thing going. Week 14, that means we have $14. That's 10, that's 11, that's 12, that's 13, and that's 14. Y'all guys can see it. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that we continue our journey of our habits, our new habit. We ain't got to, it's been more than 21 days. It ain't been 21 weeks yet. Got a habit, right? I don't even be looking at this thing because I don't even want, I just keep it out of sight, out of mind. That's right, man. And it's the understanding that, boom, savings is complete. That if I save my money today, just maybe later, my money might save me. If I save money today, just maybe later, my money will save me. Now, of course, we got to give you your quota today for our money quota today. Here we go. From Mr. Christopher Rice. Every day is a bank account. Everybody put it down, so every day is a bank account. Every day is a bank account. And time is our currency. No one is rich. No one is poor. We all got 24 hours each. Now, we got to understand that time is more valuable than money. And you can actually exchange your time for money, which is what many people do. Or you can exchange your time to multiply money, which is what a few people do. And you and I just simply have to decide what we're going to do with our time and what we're willing to exchange it for. We all got 24 hours in a day. How many hours do you spend scrolling down Facebook? How many hours do you spend looking at YouTube? How many hours do you spend being non-productive? How many hours do you spend just being busy? We all got 24 hours in a day. It's our choice what we do with it, right? Every day is a bank account, man. What do you think about that quote there, Brotherhood?
Hey, that's absolutely correct. You can always earn more money, but you can never get more time.
Absolutely, man. You can never get more time. So, brother, we're going to get right to this thing. So what I like to do is I like to kind of connect industries to the stock market. It's very good that you're in real estate because many times, there's this debate sometimes where people like to make a debate, and I don't like the debate because I just say, hey, so I want you to build wealth. I want you to become an expert in whatever industry that's got to do with you acquiring assets, building wealth for yourself, your family, your community, so you can leave a legacy for your children's children. And we must understand that real estate provides all the buildings and all the property, and then stocks is just about the companies that provide products and services to the community. And, you can get rich in either one. Same philosophies, though, when it comes to principles of investing. Now, you were an agent, but do you also do investing as well? Or kind of talk to me about this transition, because you said you were in loans. Because I bought my first house when I was 22, so we kind of similar in that fashion. Loan agent, then to real estate agent, and I'm assuming that you're now a broker, but I don't know. Maybe you're still an agent. I'm not quite sure.
In Georgia, I'm classified as a broker. In Texas, I'm an agent. I'm an agent with the team, so I'm considered a team lead. So I have agents that report directly to me, and basically is an extension of me, if that makes any sense.
Right. So why? So different classifications for different cities?
Yes. So Texas regulations. So everything that I did in Georgia doesn't count in Texas. Texas doesn't recognize anybody's license but their own. So I'm basically, when I moved here, I had to start over as far as my classifications. So I'm basically an agent here, but in Georgia, I can still operate as a real estate broker, meaning I can hire agents to work directly for me. Here, we have to get a little creative. So I'm a team lead. So that means I can hire agents to work for me. They're still under my broker, but they report directly to me.
And so I guess, is that the next step for you? Whatever the qualifications are to become a broker in Texas, is that your next?
Yes, that is my next.
Okay, fantastic. Now, so it sounds like also you're able to do business in Georgia and Texas. Anywhere else?
Yeah, well, so I can, with my Georgia license, I can pretty much, Georgia has a reciprocal agreement with multiple states. So if I want to transition to Florida, I'm more than welcome to do that using my Georgia broker's license. The difference is, from Georgia to Florida, I'm able to basically streamline and be a broker. There is no qualifications. They use my Georgia's experience and qualifications as that. Texas, it's in its own little state, basically its own little country, what we call it. They don't do that.
Yeah, Texas is one of them states that got their own rules.
Yes.
They got their own rules, man. Everybody putting out a game of wealth. Now, talk to us a little bit about, what you learned in 2008, man. Because you came in at it seemed like the right time. You obviously had a different mentality than most people. You had some mentors with your parents in this area. Yes. But just talk to us a little bit, because there's some people that real estate is something that I think as a people, we kind of get, right? It's tangible. Mm-hmm. It's a house. It's something we get, but there's different levels to this thing. And so for you to take it on storm at such a young age and then really transition that into where you are now, man, I think it's important to understand your mindset.
So in 2008 to about 2011, I realized that wealth could be created in the down market as well as an up market. Down market more so than an up market. And what I mean by that is, in Georgia, you could, in 2008, 2009, 2010, you could purchase a 4-bedroom, 2-bath property for $40,000, $50,000. And I'll say that again: 4-bedroom, 2-bath for $50,000, $60,000. So what was happening was, I would have a lot of people coming in with an IRA or 401k. We transformed that into a self-directed IRA, and they were buying these properties. Now, these properties that they purchased, they could rent out for $1,500, $1,600. So they were doing that. And when you look at the interest that the bank was paying at that time, which was like 0.112 or 0.125, when you look at what we collected in rent compared to what if they would have just left their money in the bank, they were making 20 to 22% interest on their money, which was phenomenal back then. Now, fast forward to 2015, 2016, I still keep in touch with people that I used to do this with. They're millionaires. And it's because the property that they bought from $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 back in 2008, 2009, they were now selling for $210,000, $215,000. But it gets better than that, because look at all the rent that they've collected up until that point. So they call me, they're excited because they was actually selling the properties, rolling them into bigger things, which is multifamily apartment complexes, which ultimately in the long run, they'll make a lot more with that too.
Man, Shut the front door, man. Get out of here. What? Did y'all just feel? Man, did y'all just listen? Y'all better hit that like button. You better tag somebody. I don't know if y'all just heard all that I just heard. Let me just rewind what I just kind of heard. We had people that obviously that have retirement accounts and IRAs and stuff like that. And we had a strategy. Everybody putting accounts on strategy. Say we got a strategy, and you were kind of the team lead or trying to help them to understand, trying to teach them about, man, look at what we could do if we just kind of make a few adjustments. And so this also, let's keep this in mind, was a time where they may have lost 10%, 15%, 20% in their retirement account. And they're like, man, same thing now. The sky is falling. Oh, Chicken Little thinking. But you didn't have Chicken Little thinking. You had pie in the sky thinking. And so you said, you know what? Let's transition your IRA to a self-directed. I like that word too. Self-directed IRA. That means you can kind of do what you want with your money. And let's invest it in the real estate.
Correct.
Wow. And then so then oh my God, this is so good. I love talking about money. I love talking about money. Show me the money. All right. So they took the self-directed IRA. Wow, that's so phenomenal. You was leading people back then at what, man, you had to be 30 years old or something like that. I don't know.
Right around, yes.
I'm talking about, man, you smart as a whistle, boy. All right. So the self-directed IRA, we go and invest into these properties that are, again, let's get this, understand this, people. The philosophy I keep teaching you guys, that price is what you pay, but value is what you get. The properties were still valuable. They were just on sale. They were just cheap. So he was able to get a whatever, 150,000, 200,000, 400,000 home, whatever. I mean, what? I mean, they go for about 400, 500,000 now, whatever, right? Well, basically 90% off. Okay,
pretty much.
I just went to the real estate market, like I go to the shopping mall. I go to Lane Bryant or wherever you go, and I just find one of the most expensive things in the house for 90% off, and it still got great value. So then we got a crew of people, whatever, how many people, and they rolled that thing out and flipped that, and now they're millionaires. Now, here's the other piece I didn't think y'all heard. He said something about not just the appreciation. Everybody putting also appreciate. Not just the appreciation of the asset itself, but the whole time they were collecting rent. Okay? The whole time. Courtney Gore Smith, I'm telling you, at some point in time, you're gonna come on, girl. I've been inboxing you. I'm like, shit, I guess she just ain't gonna call me back. This is the real estate, this is a female house hustle here. I mean, it'd be so hard to catch up with her because, you know, I'm like the little guy. You know, she said I get around to him when I get around him, and I'm so busy making money. But man, all right. So not only were they able to grow their wealth through the appreciation of the asset itself, they were collecting rent the whole time. Now let me connect this to the stock market. That's why I say it's very similar, right? I can own a company or a stock, which is representative of a piece of a company, and that too could grow in value over time. And while it's growing in value over time, depending on the company, I could be collecting rent, which we would call the dividend from that company as well. So very similar in nature, just a different asset, very similar philosophy. Would you agree? I
agree. Absolutely correct.
Man, oh man. Now hold on. Now, so brother, okay. So it's 2020. It's 2020. And here's what you tell me kind of because this is your, I study stocks, you study real estate, so you probably know trends about real estate better than I do. But here's what I see for real estate. I see it coming right back to where we were in 2008. An opportunity that's going to be coming down the pike with unemployment going up to 15%, defaults on loan, quite possibly, people moving out of their houses, moving into apartments to be able to, continue with their family, real estate prices coming down as rates have already gone down. So I see a cycle where we're going to start to see, I guess you call it people call it a seller's market. I call it a buyer's market though, because I mean, the sellers are bringing down the price, but the buyers can go up and gobble it up. Well, what's your take as rates for where we are now, in 2020 and the real estate market? What do you foresee in the short term?
Well, when the federal government when the federal government announced that people can forgo their mortgage payment for the next 90 days, They didn't tell them the caveat behind that. So most people are thinking I have a free pass for the next 90 days. Nothing can be further from the truth. And it's gonna, if done the way that the market is thinking it's going to do, it's going to derail a lot of people because they're getting what's called a forbearance. So forbearance is a moratorium, meaning you don't make any payments for 90 days. Most people in their head thinking, okay, I can go out shopping, I can do what I got to do, without actually saving. Now, what happens is that fourth month, let's say you have a payment of $2,000 per month for your mortgage. In the fourth month, you now have to make one payment for all 4 months. Most people are not realizing that. That's what a forbearance is. It allows you 3 months off, but you still are due those payments. And what's happening is, what most people don't realize is mortgage service providers, because they borrow money that they lend to you, they still are responsible for that payment every month. That even if you're late, even if you don't make it, they're still responsible in making that payment. So that's where a lot of the overlays that are happening right now in the mortgage industry, where you used to could get a mortgage with the 580 credit score. I've seen lenders overnight increase that to 680, 660, 680 because they're nervous, because right now their liquidity is being affected because they're thinking starting today, April 1st, 40 to 60% of people with mortgages are going to utilize what the government has put in place, which is that forbearance for the next 90 days. Now, this is what will happen. Most people that don't read their forbearance documents and understand fully what they're getting into, 90 days from now, well, let's say 4 months from now, they go to make their first payment since the forbearance, and they're told that you need 3 more months payments to go with this. Now you're already in pre-foreclosure in the bank's mind. So if you're not able to bring that to the table, you could possibly lose your home. A lot of people are not realizing that. And that's one of the dangers of just listening to certain things and not fully understanding it for yourself.
Wow. That's why you say you playing the game with real estate, man. It's a game, man. And so here's the interesting thing. Because in 3 months from now, all of the fear and everything, if everything goes well, is no more news about this stuff. But you're still dealing with the aftermath. This is the aftermath, right? This is what this is, the aftermath, and you prepare for it or you don't. Man, listen, Courtney Gore Smith, Tatum Hood, I'm gonna say this, man. I got people. Okay, I get people, and I want to work with you guys on this strategy to be able to make it available in any way that we can in some form, right? As you guys have done it in the past. And I know that y'all probably got people too, but I got people for real. Like we can literally change the whole community in 2020 just like that over a period of time. So I'll definitely love to really work with you guys. You got to pick up the phone, Courtney. Got to call me back. Man, so you've seen it before, and are you saying to yourself, man, been here, done that?
Been here, done that. Real estate is a cyclical market, so it's a cycle. So basically, we were long overdue. Some years we had, in Texas at least, we had double-digit appreciation. That can't sustain itself because you literally price most buyers out of the market anyway. So we're overdue for a correction, and I think most economists are saying that. Real estate is basically necessarily a bubble, but we're getting to that point, if not already at it.
Right. Now, let me ask you this, brother, because again, we want to kind of tie, this to the market. All right, now we'll look at the market in just a second. This is a great conversation. I don't want to rush anything, but what's your take as it relates to the connection between real estate, stock market, and Wall Street?
So real estate is heavily invested from the stock market. I myself have hedge fund that helps support my business. And what I mean by that is when I actually go on a listing appointment, I'm actually showing up with an offer at that time. And basically my strategy is, here's an offer. This will absolutely be the last time you put your house on the market, because typically I'm the second person in. I target expires, cancels, and for sale by owners. So I basically let them know this is the last time you put your house on the market because here's an offer. Now, my job is to get you a higher offer than what I'm presenting to you. And this is from my hedge fund. Now, I will tell you where it ties in is my hedge fund is tied to the stock market. My hedge fund has ceased ceased operations as far as acquiring real estate because of what the stock market was doing. So when I say that the stock market is heavily tied to real estate, it actually is. There's a lot of iBuyer companies out there that buy properties without putting them on the market. Like literally a homeowner can call up a iBuyer company and request an offer. They'll get one within 24 hours. Those companies have stopped right now because their liquidity is being affected by the stock market. So they are tied basically together. Most people don't realize that. Anytime you acquire a mortgage, most of the time, the government mortgage-backed securities, they'll step in and buy your loan. I mean, they go hand in hand. Real estate and stock market go hand in hand.
Man, y'all, I hope y'all brought y'all pen because, well, all right. So one of the things we do on the show, man, it's really heavily geared toward financial literacy. So you said 2 words that I think we want to break down and people understand. You said hedge fund. Mm-hmm. Like, what is a hedge fund?
So a hedge fund is where you have an individual or a company that basically we call it I can actually invest in a hedge fund. I mean, I can put my money in there and expect a return. Basically, they go out, they source, in this case, mortgage-backed securities or REITs, which is a real estate investment trust. So you literally invest just like you do in the stock market, and they actually go out and buy properties, rent them out for long term. When I say rent them out, they're not flippers. They basically go out, rent them out for long term. Basically, utilizing I can buy at this price, I can rent it out at this price, my return should be this because everything is spelled out. That's literally what my hedge fund does.
Let me ask you this, because now I'm thinking about my brothers and sisters, and no shade.
I think I lost you.
Oh, you lost me? You good? Uh-oh. Don't tell me we lost. No, come on now. We come on now. Good old Prince of the Air, you shall not come near. Get behind me, Satan. All right, we're gonna see if we get him back, man. He got frozen. He probably got a little internet chip. We'll see if we get him back in just a second. I think I'll see if he can come back. Oh man. Oh, I got some more. We got some more to talk about. Look at that. Let me catch up on these comments, man. See what you guys talking about over here, man. Hey, y'all this good learning. This that good learning here, huh? This that good education. This that decision for personal education. Anyone can do it through the tax. Look at that. Look at that. Courtney, when you come back on the show? You know what I'm saying? Come on. Listen, Courtney Gore Smith. I need you as a regular. Like let's schedule out like on a regular basis. I don't know if it's once every 2 weeks or something like that. But we got it's time. It's overdue. Okay. All right. Appreciate. Man, this woman, let me tell you guys, this woman here, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, she got so much knowledge. And she be, I just want y'all to get some of that good government, okay? Appreciate. Let's see if we can get Tatum Hood back, man. Yes, sir. Okay, fantastic. Yes, absolutely. Y'all enjoying good learning. What's on Melvin? Oh, that's my boy back. That's my other classmate up in the house. Thanks so much, man. What Tatum? Come on back, brother. Come on back, man. We're talking this good stuff. All right. So while we're waiting for him to reconnect, might have had a little, internet thing. We're doing this thing online. Let's go ahead and take a look at the market, guys. I'll run through that real quick, and then hopefully we'll have Mr. Hood back to be able to share some stuff with us now while we're waiting. Okay, so let's do that. Make good use of our time. All right, man. Game of Wealth, man. Keep that thing going. That's right, man. I'm connected with my alumni, SWD for life. We rock the house. All right. So here we're gonna take a look at the market, guys. See what's going on, so you guys understand. These are different places, man. It's one place to be where you emotionally tied to life. You're taking care of your family, all of this stuff. And it's another thing to understand that your money does not have an emotion. Your money does not care. Your money just wants to keep moving and keep being of good use and keep multiplying. So let's try it again. I talk about dynamic thinking. Yes, we want to take care of our family. Yes, we should be concerned and be precautious, but let's not lose sight that we can also get rich. Okay? You can also be getting rich while you're doing all that other stuff as well. If you put yourself in position to do that, everybody put it down. So put myself in position. If you put yourself in position. Now, tonight, I'm going to have another presentation on how to get rich during a recession. Now, he just shared a strategy right, that he used back in 2008, which is going to be very valuable to still be able to use in 2020, 21, whatever this thing take place. Okay. So understand that there are more millionaires made during a down market or a recession than any other time because they are utilizing these strategies to be able to do so. And they put themselves in position to get rich. So at the end of all of this, right, I want you coming out smelling like roses after you went through the fiery flame. I want you to be like Daniel, right? I want you to be, I want you to come out, and remember this time and be like, man, I remember that time. And I remember what I did to position myself and my family to get rich. So we can live a life the way that we want to live it, and we can make the difference and the impact in the community in which we want to make it. We can, not feel, bullied or whatever into, making our contributions to this profit or this church or whatever. Because you got more than enough. Everybody putting out so more than enough because you got more than enough. I want you to just imagine for a second, guys, you financing your own mission, like a Courtney Gore Smith and a Tatum Hood and myself. You financing your own mission. I also want you to imagine this. I was thinking about this last night. I'm sorry, I got a little rant because, y'all got me fired up. I told y'all about this. I said to myself, you know what? Once you learn how to multiply money, once you learn, right? Because it is something that you can learn. There's an education behind it. But once you learn how to multiply money, I want you to understand that you really put yourself in position to be a lender and not a borrower. It also means that you put yourself in a position to be a master and not a slave. But it requires you learning how to multiply money. That way you don't need their money because you got your money making money. And now you borrow from yourself. You borrow from your fund. You borrow from whatever, you know what I'm saying? You begin to be in control, and now you become the master instead of the slave. Now, these are two different things. I'm talking about from your personal standpoint. Now, from a business standpoint, you might use other people's money. That's a whole other entity. You can protect yourself that way. But we got to start. I'm telling you, this whole thing that people keep talking about with credit and all this stuff, I'm telling you, right? That's just a way for you to go further into slavery. Just think about it for a second. What would happen if you owed no man nothing but love? If you really did, from a personal standpoint. Now you can use this stuff from business strategies and all that stuff. But what if you owe no man nothing? Nothing but love. All right, now I'm getting on my soapbox here. I'm trying to tell you, I do this all day. All right. What's going on, brother? Oh, you back? Yes. Woo.
I'm back. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. My computer went through an update. I was like, wait a minute, wrong time.
Okay. All right, so I'm about to go through the market. I forgot what I was asking. We're going to come back to you. We're going to take a look at the market real quick. All right, guys, so just real quick, man, I want to run through this real quick. Man, you know what I'm saying? SoftBank, when the change of tack or whatever, the futures are down, right? To see if it's anything. So investors, right, they profited on the stock market loss, so you can make money on the way down. Boom, bam, let's see if there's anything else. I think there was something I saw. Walmart's taking employees' temperatures and wear masks, so they're taking some control. Facebook has a new feature that's coming out. Let volunteers help each other, right? Apple acquires a popular weather app, Dark Sky. That's pretty interesting. Average price of gas is going down under $2 a gallon. What's the price of gas at in your area, right? Carnival, look at this. Carnival, the cruise line, is seeking billions as the pandemic devastates the cruise industry. So here's another industry that's being devastated, and that just tells me it's super on sale. I mean, I like sales, but this tells me the cruise industry is on clearance, okay, or it's getting there. You're getting pretty close. I mean, I think Norwegian Cruise Line is like $10 a share. Come on now, like people gonna be cruising again in the future. We don't know when they're gonna get there, but they're gonna get back to cruising because that's just something that people love to do, right? So again, cruise industry is somewhere. Now I don't know about the airline industry because let me tell you about the airline industry. Airlines, they're a little more difficult than cruises, I think, man, because airlines and gasoline and oil and it's just too much for me. But hey, if you're gonna do it, go with the big dogs. That's what I tell you. If you're gonna do it, go with the big dog. All right, here's the market. Now you would think that the sky was falling, right? But the market was only down 1% yesterday. Now, what does this tell me? It tells me that the market, or where money is being transferred, moved, bought and sold, trade is taking place, is starting to settle. Everybody putting also settle, right? We saw the big drop, 20%, 25%. We saw the increase of 5%. We saw another drop of 10%. And I can show you all this on the chart, but I'll do that tonight. But it's telling me when I look at this chart, it goes probably show me that the market is starting to settle. In other words, fear is leaving the market, although it may not be leaving the common people. And everybody put in comments, so I'm not common. Right? Fear is leaving the market, although it might not be leaving people. But you got to understand that, hey, man, when you're not common, you start realizing, okay, now, man, okay, now, I'm ready. I'm ready to get rich. So although Carnival was down, Carl was talking about they need some money. Look at this. Royal Caribbean was up 8% yesterday. Isn't that interesting? Right? You got all these Macy's, okay, retail, all these companies that did not evolve to internet, and nobody's going to Macy's.com to shop. Nobody's going to Kohl's.com to shop. See, they didn't evolve. Man, these companies, a company like Macy's is teetering on the verge of bankruptcy. Okay, if they haven't already filed more than one bankruptcy in our lifetime, I don't know. I'm not convinced that Macy's going to make a comeback. Okay, I'm just not convinced. Okay, I've seen them too long. They're the next richest, and JCPenney probably right behind them. Right, they just need to evolve. Who's going to Macy's.com to shop? Okay, nobody. Hey, oil's down to $20.58 per barrel. That gasoline across the country is $1.64 per regular unleaded gasoline, man. I'm telling Atlanta, Georgia, they need to bring them prices down because I know what the price of gas need to be, and we still a little too high. They still trying to get us. Trying to get us. Now here's your how your stocks have been over the past, since the beginning of the year. We know it's been down, but look at this. This is what I really like. As I said, fear is starting to leave the market, which means that greed is coming in. My mentor, same way the philosophy I believe in Mr. Hood, man, be greedy when others are fearful. And greed is starting to come back in. So last week was at 13, extreme fear. Now we're at 25. That's increased to me. That tells me that money's coming back into the market. The smart money is coming back into the market. The smart money is coming back into the market. Ask yourself, is my money smart? Ask yourself, is my money smart? All right. So that's all I got, man. Tonight, guys, at 8 o'clock, I'll be doing another presentation, how to get rich during the recession, right? And I'll be focusing on the stock market. But, man, I can't wait to bring some of these brothers and sisters in, man. I want Courtney Gore-Smith, Lisa Puerto, Tatum Hood. I want us to do just one big broadcast on real estate and how to get rich. I'm going to put it together. Watch what I tell you. I'm going to put it together. So you were talking, they get froze up on us. You start talking about mortgage-backed securities and the connection to real estate. Oh, hedge fund. You tell us what a hedge fund is.
Mm-hmm. So a hedge fund basically is where you can call it, to make it long story short, you can call it a pool of money. When investors invest in a hedge fund, a lot of times they're institutional investors, but they invest in a hedge fund and they literally go out and in my case, they buy properties. They buy properties all over the Metroplex. They're in Dallas, Phoenix, other cities as well. But they do that with a strategy is we're going to rent these properties out long term. Most people flip properties. They rent them out long term, 10 plus years, because in that time frame, they'll see the market go up, they'll see it down, but it's more up than down. And that's what they bank on. The influx of rental properties. That's literally what a hedge fund is in my industry. And it's tied directly to the stock market because they literally sell shares into their organization. So that is tied directly. It goes hand in hand with the stock market.
Absolutely. And I was thinking, I got another question. I got two more questions, but you mentioned iBuyer. Again, from a financial literacy standpoint, what the heck is iBuyer?
So it's a Zillow, it's a Redfin, it's a, you see the commercials, log on to this site, get an offer for your house and instantly. Those are what we call in our industry iBuyers, meaning it's an entity versus an actual person buying your property. It's a company buying your property. Think we buy ugly houses type things. That's also considered an iBuyer, by the way. Okay,
fantastic. Now I want to talk about mentality for a minute because here's again the idea that the thought process that I have. Many of our brothers and sisters, because of where we come from. And there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, they're all different strategies, but because of where we come from, it seems like we're all about the quick money, right? From all the lottos in our community, all, coming from maybe from the drug game or something like that, or on the pole. I just keep it real on this show. On the pole, stuff like that, right? Flipping money, right? And so when we get into this wealth game, many of us go to, okay, how can I get quick money, right? We go into flicks and flip. We go into trading or something like that, right? Man, what do you think about that dynamic of, man, because I believe I teach the philosophy that the tortoise beats the hare all the time, right? And from a tax implication standpoint to all that stuff. But I just see more. I do see more of us getting into it, but I see more of us getting into it on that side of the game. And not really, man, let me really look 10, 20, 30 years down the road, man. What's your thought or your idea between short-term, long-term, real estate stocks? It doesn't really matter. And just the psychology of many of our brothers and sisters.
Well, I would say that on the short term, the flips, because most people watch TV, HGTV. As a realtor, I laugh at a lot of that stuff because, you have to think I can literally go out and show this buyer 3 houses and they'll pick one. That's not how real estate works. Although it's conveyed that way on TV, it's not how it works, including the flipping shows. Most flippers, they look at their strategy is I buy at 70%, I have 10% in taxes, 10% in rehab, 10% profit. Set buy at 70, 10% taxes, 10% rehab, 10% profit. But on TV, you see people making 100,000, 200,000 per flip. And that's when people approach a real estate agent looking to get into investing, and that's their mentality. That's not the truth. So with real estate is a long-term strategy. You have to look at it as, okay, I'm going to hold this property for 5 years. I'm going to hold this property for 7 years. I'm going to hold this property for 10 years. During that time frame, I can rent that property out at this price, and then a couple of years, this price, all the time reducing if you borrowed to buy the property, reducing my mortgage balance and increasing the value in the property at the same time, plus saving on taxes. So in the long term, real estate, there's not a get rich quick. You can, but it's not something that you should target. It's something should be long term versus short term.
So what I like to think of, I say long-term approach with some short-term strategies, right? I mean, if I want to hedge against my long-term, like you got a hedge fund, then I may have some short-term things to be able to make money on the way down or something like that. Let me ask you this, man, because I'm starting. Also, something that we're seeing. Here's what I know. A lot of the people that all the talking heads that seem like they had it all together, that were over leveraged, they're getting quiet. I mean, it's like you can hear a pin drop. You're like, what happened? Y'all, all that, you don't hear, you're not hearing as much from them, as we have in the past, man. Talk to us a little bit about that whole thing. And also I wanted to talk about Airbnb. How has that impacted the real estate industry? How does it impact you? And what are some things to consider, because I've heard some bad Airbnb stories as it relates to the time that we're in now.
So I'll just start off with Airbnb. I have a friend of mine in California. He has several dozen Airbnbs. He's in a very bad situation because unlike apartment complexes, which is what we invest in, Airbnb is considered a luxury. So you have to have a place to stay. Airbnb is more of a luxury, meaning I'm going on vacation, I'm going to visit someone, so I need a place to stay at that time. He's literally, Airbnb has canceled majority of his reservations for the next 30 to 45 days because of where the COVID-19 stands. People are canceling there. So now he's stuck with, and this is not an exaggeration, $360,000 in mortgages that he has to pay, every month, unless he can get, a little help from his lenders, because all of his, just like you stated, are over leveraged. And he was doing that because he made so much money with the Airbnb. So Airbnb as a strategy, that market is basically suffering right now because you can't really do anything as far as travel pertaining to Airbnb. What was the other, because I kind of went on a tangent with Airbnb.
I think I forgot, but anyway, Airbnb is cool. Okay, I think I was asking about it. That's why I want to. Hey, Courtney, that's why I want to have like a whole bunch of real estate people on the show because y'all got different approaches and different, to this thing. It's more than one way to skin a cat. That's why I'm saying we got to let's bring all the good heads together, man. Because for depending on where you are in life, you know what I mean. You may be more risky and more risk averse to be able to really go into some of those short term strategies, which have their merit. Long term strategies have their merit as well. But man, I'm talking about merging them all together. And
Right.
because when I do analysis for people in retirement, I'm talking about how conservative are you? I'm looking at your investor profile, or your risk tolerance, right? Are you really trying to be conservative? Are you really trying to be good? Because I'm aggressive as all get out. I'm cool. Right? It works for me. But it's not gonna work for me. It's not gonna work for my 66-year-old mother. That ain't gonna work for her. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
so it's, different stroke for different folks as well. I'm not common. Absolutely, Dorothy is in the house. I'm not common head funds. So you said, let me see what you said, Dorothy. She said, I don't agree with that not being the truth. May not be the truth for all, but it's true. Okay. All right. Fantastic. Yep. All right. Fantastic. All right. Fantastic. Long term buy and hold. Absolutely. So I think I would ask, what did I ask? I don't know. It don't matter. So Taylor, man, so as we move forward with this thing, and we got a few minutes, we'll start to wrap this thing up. What would be some of your, for those that want to get into real estate or those that are already in real estate, you've kind of developed a strategy that works for you and works for your team. And we know that there's many different strategies that work for many different people, but it really comes down to mastering one. I just mastered long-term investing because I follow the man named Warren Buffett, and I just do what he said to do. And I just stay there. That don't mean that everybody got to stay there, but that's just where I stay. I stay in my lane. Talk to us a little bit about your lane, what you feel like you've mastered, and maybe what you're saying, okay, now that I mastered this, I'm going to add a little branch over here, and I'm starting, diving into learning this. What's kind of next for you?
What's next for me is multifamily. That's something that my wife retired 2 years ago. So we are developing a company to basically go after multifamily. We've been dabbling in this for years, and it's basically now it's time to hit where the rubber hits the road. Like that's going to be her baby. I'm going to let her deal with that. For me, on the real estate side, I am more of a listing agent. So my thing is, I love that process. I'm able to bring a buyer to a property to a seller, I should say, that they're not thinking that their property will actually sell. So that's what I mastered. Now on the real estate side for myself, like I stated, I'm going after multifamily. So what I mean by multifamily apartment complexes, to me, that's something that's going to be around for generations to come. And it's something that I can actually leave to my grandkids, my great grandkids, because it's something that's going to be there. As long as you keep the property up, best product, best price, that's my strategy with that. Answered your question.
Yeah, absolutely. And then here's my last question. We're going to wrap this up. Now that we're in this space, right now, it seems like, everyone's like, oh, virtual. Yeah, we've been saying this for a while. Virtual is a thing. How have you adapted, or what have you seen the adaptation is as it relates to, virtual, real estate going virtual? I mean, because they're not talking about e-signings. Just talk to us a little about the evolution of operations as it relates to real estate.
So right now, with COVID-19 out, we have a lot of sellers, including myself, have a lot of sellers that do not want buyers coming in their property, but they still want their property sold. Catch 22. And buyers are the same way. They don't want to go into a property and possibly. So we're doing what's called virtual home tours. The jury's still out on that. Well, it actually works, which I actually do it, but the jury's still out because I can show a buyer all day long a property, one of my listings, through a virtual tour. The same experience as actually being there. Now, put yourself in this situation. You're a buyer looking to buy a property. I'm showing you it through a virtual tour. You say, okay, I think we can go with this. You do it. We complete the offer. It's accepted. We go under contract. We do the inspection. And let's say we get past it 2 weeks and you say, okay, I'm going to go by and visit the property. I'm going to take a chance. And you walk in and it smells like cat pee. How does that see? It's a difference. It's a difference than actually being there. So whether this virtual tour works or not, The jury's still out on that, but it's something that we're moving to. Like iDocusign a lot of things, eSign a lot of things. A lot of title companies, closing attorneys are now adapting the eSign process as well. So we're actually moving toward that. Within the next couple of years, everything will be digital on the signing and contract side. On the actual virtual tours to see properties, I still think it takes a human touch. I still think you have to actually have to visit the property to be able to experience what the property has to offer.
Absolutely, man. Well, real quick, I just want to let you guys give you out some very, very good news. I just had a little package, a little ring on my bell, and a little FedEx came through. So my first orders for the K95 KN95 mask again, they're already accounted for, by the way, so I already know where these are being shipped to. Just let you guys know that they are actually starting to arrive. So all the people that put in their pre-orders, you're going to start to see some shipments come in. You see some, whatever. I'm going to send out your little whatever, let you know it's on its way. And we're going to be giving you a free hand sanitizer for everybody that pre-ordered. And the reason why pre-order was so important because I've been financing this by myself. So I couldn't, if if I'm getting 50 at a time, we got 500 people that want them, that just don't work. So, those that are interested in you saying you want to protect yourself with the KN95 mask, make sure you go to the website, ERGJ Black Bazaar. Let me pull that up for you again. You can actually place your order. So they are starting to come in. As I told you guys, just be patient, be patient, be patient, be patient. That's the website right there. All right. So, Brother Tatum, man, any last words for the people today? Before we close this thing out, this is your time to talk about what you got going on, or you just leave some words of encouragement. You've been here, you've done that, you've seen this before. We will get through this. Whatever it is that you like to say to the people here today on the Money and Power Show.
Just reiterate what I said about the forbearance, because that can actually put you out of your property. Make sure you understand, make sure you read those documents carefully. If you're going to skip your next few mortgage payments, make sure you understand the repercussions behind it. Make sure if the bank sends you anything and you don't understand, do not hesitate to reach out to legal counsel. Most states have free legal counsel. Just basically Google whatever city you're in, legal counsel or free legal counsel. Have them go over that document. Don't just sign something that you don't fully understand because you think, okay, I can skip my mortgage payment for the next 90 days because it'll come back to bite you. So whatever you do, make sure you fully understand what it is that you're signing.
Absolutely. Again, guys, in the comments below, man, I'd love for you to share something that you learned today. And we don't do this just to do this. This is free financial education for the nation. We do this to make a difference. And hopefully we made a difference in your life today. As we said, the philosophy that price is what you pay, but value is what you get. I want you to think about the price you paid to be here today. It didn't cost you any money, but it cost you your time, which will be more valuable than your time. And then I want you to think about the value that you received for just showing up to learn what you don't know about money. And I continue to teach you guys that what you don't know is actually hurting you, right? Our people perish for lack of knowledge. So what you don't know is actually hurting you. But here's a wonderful thing. We're putting together platforms to be able to bring financial education. What the government won't do for us, guess what? We can do for ourselves. Brothers like Brother Hood and Miss Courtney Gold-Smith to lead the way, we can actually have a revolution that will be televised. I'll simply ask you in the comments below to tell us, was this worth your time and why? Was this worth your time and why? And then we'll give you time. I know I talk fast and you type, so we'll get that there. And Mr. Hood, brother, again, I'll be reaching back out to you. Again, I want to say thanks so much for being here today, taking the time to be here, sharing your wisdom, your knowledge, that shows that you care enough. And I definitely want to bring this conglomerate together with Miss Gore-Smith. Hopefully she'll agree to come on. We can have it's really a good show, not just a show, but really help get other people in position to win during this time and to come out filthy rich. Thank you for teaching what a hedge fund is. Absolutely. Anybody else in the comments below, go ahead and show your appreciation for this brother taking the time out. He's a very busy man. Make sure you guys do that. You do that as well. All right, guys. So again, tonight we do have our special presentation for Wealth Wednesday, how to get rich during a recession. He's shared a strategy through real estate. I'll be sharing some strategies tonight as well. It's free for you to come. That's it. It's free. Just show up. It's free. I don't care. Because the thing is, right? I can teach you the mechanics, but you still got to do something else. You got to go into tutelage. You got to get you a teacher in order to actually know what to do and when to do it. I'll teach you how to do it, but you got to learn out what to do and when to do it as well. And that's where you join the Black Billionaires Club. For those that are part of the BBC, go and put it also hashtag BBC, letting people know that we are here. We actually do have a club. So that's not only just a book that I wrote. We took the book and we said, okay, well, what can we learn? What can we do? And we turned it into a mission, which is now a club. There are 3 things that billionaires do pretty simply, and they do it well. And they tell us, hey, if you want to be rich or be wealthy, however you want to put it, I like to say rich is easy to say. Here's what you do. Number 1, read. Number 1, read. So guess what we have in our Billionaires Club? We have a book club where we read daily, right? Number 2, what do? They build business, right? Generational wealth is built through business. Whether it's through real estate business or stock business, it's built through business. Think about the Waltons, the DuPonts. Generational wealth for generations upon generations upon generations. It's built through business. And then, so guess what we have? We have business development and classes and stuff like that to help you start your online business or help you start something or be a part of something. And then number 3, what do they say they do? Man, we looked at them and said, you know what they invest. First, they invest in themselves. Then they invest in other companies and other properties, right? That's how you have your money making money for you. And Mr. Buffett says, if you don't learn how to earn money while you're asleep, you'll always be working for it. In other words, you'll be a slave to the process. We don't want you to be a slave to the process. So consider joining the Black Billionaires Club and walk away from a crowd of broke, busted, and disgusted. Check us out at www.theblackbillionairesclub.com. Make a financial decision that can change your life forever. Hey, man, Carnival Cruise Line may be next stock to purchase. What I learned today is $10 per share. I was Norwegian, I said. Thanks for reinforcing the fact that read all deferred. Thank you so much, Miss Guthridge in the house. BBC, absolutely, man. All right, Tater, man, we're going to get up out of here, man, because we got things to do. I got fast things out, man. Thanks so much for doing, man. Hey, beautiful people, I want to say this. I want you guys to remember this, that it takes a village. It starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, beautiful people. Matter of fact, we all we need. And thank God, that's more than enough. Until next episode, you know what time it is. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
Black Wall Street. Thank you for joining the show. We gave a lot of great tips, but it's time to go. Take the knowledge we shared, hope you use it and grow. We will see you all there at the next episode of the new Black Wall Street. The new Black Wall Street.